What's up, everybody? It's your boy C Keys. Yet another episode of the Ghetto Ass No Filter Show. I know some of y'all be tripping off the pale, stale ass background, so I figured I'd put on a hat for y'all asses, and maybe that might help. Nah, that's blocking the view of this bronze. So let's turn it sideways. Does that help the background for y'all accessory ass motherfuckers? But anyways, I just want to take a moment out. Again, random thoughts, a no filter show. As soon as I get an itinerary and a background worthy enough to look like an anchor news station, then maybe, we can get a little bit more in depth on specific topics. But we about to go ran D-U-M-B in this motherfucker. I want to start by thinking about success and thinking about having no ambition whatsoever. What I mean by no ambition is a man's thought, an ego-driven accomplishment, stand on a mountaintop, chest out type of thing. But in reality, ambition to get you killed. Ambition to help you lose your connection with the source. Because ambition only gratifies you. It doesn't gratify anything supernatural. It makes you, by the end of the day, feel like you've accomplished something. And you have, by following in line. But if you're not giving the source the credit, then you're wasting your time. So, I'm sitting in the garage and I'm thinking about legacy. And this all tie in. Hopefully some of y'all will get it. Maybe some of y'all won't. If you don't, I got an inbox. I remember back in the days, and before I get started on this story, I'm going to let y'all know up front. I love my family, especially my dad. This man is a genius to me. Because even though he seesawed in a motherfucker psychologically, he's done things mentally that I even think back and be like, wow. Or I may think back to a circumstance. I remember this man. I got into a bus accident and I seriously hurt my neck. I'm not like some of y'all motherfuckers that want to check. I was a kid. I had no clue and I kept complaining about my neck, but I was one of them thoroughbreds. I'm gonna just get through it. So my mom kept saying, you know what, you need to go to the doctor. We decided to get a lawyer. I'm gonna be quick. And we got the lawyer, right? Now, my dad, and I'm proud of my dad. I love my dad. I'm his legacy. So I am a result of his seed. I'm a result of his legacy. So everything I do, he should be proud of because he was a part of this. You see what I'm saying? And I'm helping to correct some of the mistakes that he made so that hopefully my offspring can correct the mistakes that I make. That's legacy. Not being jealous of your children. Not trying to live your life through your children. But allowing your child to flourish in their own special gifts in order for them to be a better version of you. But anyways, Pops decided to let me know. He's like, okay, we're going to go see this lawyer. We went to see this lawyer. Little did we know the lawyer was supporting the city. So, a few days before we renewed the case, the lawyer decided not to take it. And I guess there was a clause that once I turn 18, I'm considered an adult, so I can't collect funds. Now, my dad, 6 years in Angola and several other prisons. That's the reason why we ended up in our asses in Louisiana, which I love the experience because it taught me morality and respect for my elders. But it also told me I couldn't live there because motherfuckers would be trying to get rid of me because I ain't standing for that shit. You gonna love the bronze or you can kiss every whole part of my ass. But he did a lot of years in prison. Shit, a lot of years in prison. And I think he dropped out in the 6th grade. And this man literally sued the jail. But anyway, that's another story. But he says, I think the lawyer working for the city. So I'm going to take care of your lawyer case. And I'm looking at this dude. Bro, really? Really? This man got on a word processor and 2-finger typed up a deposition. And we got the letter sent off before I turned 18. And they settled out of court for Put it this way, at age 18, that was a lot of money for me to see at one time. But you know what my dad asked for? Pops asked for a pack of Newport 100s and $20. I got emotional when I thought of that. My brain is like his. Regardless of my circumstance, mine is the seesaw shit. But when it comes to our thought process and witty and being up on game and smart, we're quick on that. I remember days, I sit back in the garage doing my improvisational freestyles and I trip about how often my dad was in the garage. And I used to get hella mad about him being in the garage because in my mind, him being in the garage equaled him smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid to mention that. I love my dad. And if anybody disrespect my dad, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. But this man was pookie. That's my dad, though. I can say that shit. You feel me? And he used to sit in the garage for hours. I remember there were times he would get high as shit off crack. He had the garage closed and shit. And it'd be smoky as fuck in there. And I'd be a little kid. And he'd call me in the garage. And I remember the awful smell. He'd try to crack the garage, but the smoke wasn't coming out fast enough. And the first thing in my mind was, nigga, I don't want to get high off this crack. But my dad was like 6'5", 6'something, 6'4", 200-something pounds with a size 16D shoe and shit. I always told myself as a kid I'd fill his shoes one day. Shit. I only made it to 11. But, he used to call me in the garage and tell me stories of his life, man. And he used to cry and shit. And I'm looking at this grown man cry because I never saw this side of him. I saw him high and coming down off his high. Never had a job. And my checklist in life, this is why I thank him. And I don't hate him. My checklist in life is everything he did fucked up, I wasn't going to do. When it came to a job, I was going to keep one. When it came to crack, I wasn't fucking with it. When it came to my family, they came first. My wife will not be the breadwinner. And I sit around and I do shit. We will not rely on the government. Ain't no government cheese. That shit don't melt. You put it in the microwave, that shit sweat. And ain't even no water in that shit. No condensed powdered milk. No motherfucking off-brand cereal that come in an all-white box with blue writing. Ain't even no motherfucking logo or no picture on that shit. None of that. No peanut butter you gotta stir and shit. Which throws my mind back. Because that very same peanut butter, Adams and shit be selling. You gotta stir it before you eat it. Except the ingredients are different. But anyways, back to the old freestyle. He'd call me in the garage, he'd tell me stories. And literally, this man was freestyling to me. He wasn't rapping. But he was doing what I'm doing. And guess what my motherfucking ass is at right now? In the garage. Not smoking crack. But in my element. Freestyling. I'm telling my life story to the world. But it's a journal for myself. The only reason why my dad told me is because he couldn't keep it in his head. And what I have to tell you is transparency and pureness and honesty. But I'm doing it with a talent or a skill set. So that's why I love broadcasting the worldwide. Because although y'all hating asses out there talking about I'm improvisation or freestyle too much in my garage and I need to have flashy shit in the background, or, I got too many freestyles, I only got 2 likes on Instagram. Bro, I'm setting a record. So when I hit Guinness up, I don't give a fuck about, how many comments or likes I got. What I truly care about is them solidifying, literally, you got the most improvisational freestyles ever recorded on video. And so far, I'm at 1,600. Keep up. Your alter ego _1 on Instagram. But anyways, the difference between my dad and I is he went as far as he could possibly go based on what he's been through to pass the baton to me. I became an adult at a young ass age. A grown man at a young ass age, shall I say. Because I didn't have a man example in front of me, and I wasn't going to sit around and be a kid all my life. So I figured I'm going to do what I think it takes to be a man. And the core values of what I defined as a man based on my friends' dads or cultures that were related to me. Because I tried to relate it to TV, but that shit wasn't real to me. Black families wasn't doing that shit. They wasn't settling disputes and situations like that. They didn't have a past ancestry and backgrounds and shit like that of what they were going. Man, my dad was 14 years old driving cars from Opelousas, Louisiana to fucking Texas to car dealerships, and they were paying him under the table. When one kid went to reform school, all the kids went to reform school. At least 2 or 3 brothers went, just to make sure that one brother didn't get his ass beat. You know what I'm saying? These are the stories my dad used to tell me. Stories about how they used to get their ass whooped by their older brother when they used to go panhandle because he wanted to collect the dough and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all types of stories. But then aside from his stories, my legacy is being able to create my stories in a vivid imagination or a picture to capture the artists of anyone, to let them know I'm no different than you. So my will to be able to overachieve should be your same will as well. There's no excuse. Once I became 18, I realized I'm an adult. I can't blame what happened in the past. I got a reset button, a fresh fucking start. And although some of those things in my life may influence me, they don't define me. So here I am sitting in the garage just like my dad. But when I call my daughters in there, I'm calling them asking for topics for freestyles. I'm working out with them in the background in the gym or on the treadmill or some shit. Or I'm in the house chilling with them. I'm having them involved in my life. I expose to them my vices, and they cheer me on to keep my mind away from whatever vices that may have me trapped. You get where I'm going? I love my dad with all my heart. And for years, I tried to help him get over the hump. But you know what? I can love him from a distance because I can't care more than you care for yourself. But I know my dad gonna be alright and he's a survivor and I love him. And here's why. This man said something to me that broke me down, uplifted me and motivated me, yet put me on blast at the same time. 6th grade education. Genius though. He say, son, yeah, I'm in the position I'm in, pillar to post, streets, whatever, but I get a guaranteed check every month. I got medical and benefits. All I gotta worry about is when I'm asleep and wake up, because in the morning, I have money to take care of myself. I have a place I can shower, eat. I get a guaranteed check. He say, you got car notes, house notes, rent, house note, whatever you want to name, bills, all this stuff. And you work at a job that's not trying to pay you to overcompensate, but just to keep your bills close enough together for you to show your ass up to work the next day. And you can't even pick when you want to take your vacation time off. Who has a better life? Now some people may say, this mother got sleeping on the street, nah. But think about it. You sitting there stressing over money you worked hard for to pay on a note that you owe on something, so it's almost like you never saw that money. But the stress level you put yourself at just to keep yourself in that punk ass whatever it is much higher than this stress of having to find a place to sleep. Because there's probably going to be a family member that's going to help him. And if you get tired of the streets, you can get a hotel. You got the money. But we take these illusions of tangible items and we make them think they divine us so great that even though the stress level it takes us to is great, we don't care, because by the end of the day, it's more important how other people see us in that car. Now, don't get me wrong. I like cars too. I'm a Hot Wheels kid. And people know I've had cars. And I never talk about them. Never brag on them. Them shits ain't shit. But after hearing my dad say that, I went and bought my BMW cash. And whatever issues I have with it, the engine can fall out that motherfucker. The repairs or the replacement of that engine is cheaper than paying a car note for 1 year on a brand new car. And I don't even own it. And after the warranty wear out, or if something breaks down that's not covered under the powertrain, then I got the note of that car. I got the car insurance. And then I got the actual repairs. And let's not talk about people blaming the insurance company. It's not the insurance company's fault that you bought a car beyond your means and the insurance is based on the type of vehicle you driving in your driving record, and then you upset because the insurance is so high because you think it beyond your means. Now the vehicles I drive, they're older models. People still compliment me on them. I don't care about their compliments. And I didn't buy them because they were BMWs, Mercedes, and Lexus, and Infinities. I bought them because they're reliable, and I like the additional features that come in the older models, because most of those older models or those luxury vehicles are really inexpensive. But they come with the same features that 2016 to 2018 have. maybe minus backup cameras. But by the end of the day, I have all these luxuries in this vehicle, and I'm not paying as much, and I'm happy at the body style. Fuck what y'all think. Oh, pardon me. Fuck what y'all think. Because I promised my mama I'd stop using a hard K and put the G in there, because she wanted to stop using words like that. But it's improvisation, and it comes out. But I love you, mama. My point to all this, by the end of the day, are three things. One, define your point of happiness and stick to it. Two, measure your life based on your sanity, not your salary. And three, which is the most important and the original subject line to this whole thing, never discount a person based on how society places them. Because even with a mental issue, they can be a genius. And their disadvantage is that the world or society plays a game of politics, and their mind thinks on morality so hard on the simple things of life that is defined as crazy. Now, that's not to say people don't have psychological issues. It's to say we should be very careful at what measuring stick we use, because we can turn a person crazy based on our measuring stick. I'm a seed of a genius. So I'm not surprised at the vessel or the gifts that I have. But you know what's even crazier than that? My children will be greater than I. And my children's children will be greater than I. Because that's how legacy is supposed to work. I love you, Dad. But I can't cheer for you more than you cheer for yourself. And when you're ready, I'll be the biggest supporter you ever seen in your life. But you gotta be willing to take the first step. I can't care for you more than you care for yourself. And if, Dad, you're happy where you are in life, I love you and continue to be happy. But I can't celebrate in your atmosphere of happiness when that consists of breaking apart the very foundation of rebuilding a different circumstance than 20-something years ago. I don't want literal deja vu. I want rejuvenation. I want Phoenix. I love y'all. It's your boy C Keys. This is the No Filter Show. And I promise y'all, one day, this is going to look like some of that shit y'all see on TV. But guess what? A lot of y'all that comment about me doing these things, as soon as I do that, guess what y'all motherfuckers going to have? More suggestions. It's your boy C Keys. Focus on the words. Don't focus on the adverbs. I love y'all. Salute. Have a blessed one. TGIF.